Hey guys, and welcome back to another VTOL video. I'm going to show you the best way to do S.E.A.D, or suppress enemy air defense if you're not familiar with the term, with the best weapons and tactics you can use. Make sure you stick to the end because I'll show you how to set up and shoot these weapons as well, so don't miss that. So now I'm going to cover the topic in two aircrafts, the F-26B and the AH-94. I'm leaving the FA-45 out because it can do everything the F-26B can do, with added stealth, so no need to cover things twice. So first off, let's set up the F-26B. You're going to need the AGM-88s, Hydra rockets, and two laser guide bombs, the GBU-12s. Always bring a targeting pod for any laser bombs or just surveillance, because the more you can see, the better you can plan. The AGM-88s are the most important. They're a medium range anti-radiation missiles designed to target radar guided SAM sites. On the AH-94, you're going to want to load up the AGM-145s and the M230. Now extra fuel could be added, but that's subject to your target, but hey, you can always jettison them off if you're too heavy before entering the fight. Now, VTOL has various air defense. MAD pads to big beasts like the MAD 4s and a few other variants including naval ships. But you can tackle them pretty much all the same except for the MAD 4s and the NMSS cruiser, as the range to target and lock is insane. Their missile speed and intelligence is soul destroying, so both of these need to be fought a lot differently to the medium range SAM sites. To identify these beasts, you can make them out on your RWR, as the MAD 4 has the symbol of the 4 and the NMSS cruiser is LR. A lot of different threats that have various symbols, so I'll link a page in the description so you can see them all. First, you need a flight plan. With multiple SAM sites, AAA all huddled together, facing many angles, a flight plan can be easily overlooked. In a few simple seconds, the look of your nav can make your life and the mission a lot easier. And this is the most important for the AH-94, as terrain masking is the only real good defense it has, so make sure you check the nav for any bit of terrain you can find. Now with mid to long range SAM sites, you can use the technique I call snaking in the FA-26B. It's a combination of advancing and hitting the defense while cutting down the distance between the missile firing. I'm showing you a attack view of me doing this in DCS. It will make things a lot clearer in a better user-friendly way. So I'm in my F-18 and I'm evading very powerful long-range missiles that currently launch a Mach 4, that's 4 times the speed of sound, so running for the missile will never work. So you gotta lose lock by notching low, and if you can, use the terrain as cover, then push forward, notch, evade, and push forward, and repeat the steps until they're out of missiles, or you're close enough for a gun run with some hydras and cannons. You can stake in close range areas. As you can see here, I'm in the dock. You just gotta be quicker, and your S pattern's a lot smaller, but the same technique fits. If you're cruising in the AH-94, because you're unable to notch missiles, this technique has to be done differently, and that is solely by terrain masking and basic countermeasures. As you can see here, I use the terrain to cover myself from being detected, firing and popping down. This is the advantages of hovering. Just stop, and peeking is a huge advantage. I even weave through the streets and use buildings as cover once I manage to get into the towns and cities. Just take your time and don't wander out into the big wide open areas and you'll be fine. When being fired upon high up in the air in the F-26B, I recommend a combo of 3 maneuvers, because some SAM site missiles are very smart and notching and using your countermeasures are very hard to pull off. So instead of taking a chance, if I can, I will dive to the ground, force the missile to hit the floor, or slow it down into thicker air. While doing this, I'll put the missile to my 90 degrees and try and notch it. I'll also dispense my countermeasures while looking for terrain for cover and using the hill to break lock. If you're in the open sea, you need to be aware that you're vulnerable and you need to keep out of reaching distance, and that leads to my next tactic. I've mentioned this in the past about the A120s in the BVR tactics video, but the technique is still the best way to get the long range reach on the SAM sites like the MAD 4s and the NMSS cruisers. The missiles are so long and fast, your best defense is offense, and this is why it's so important to equip the AGM-88s, and this is how you're going to do it. You need to be at 30 to 40,000 feet in the air and going at max speed. Now master arm on and equip the GBU-12s. You're going to go to your A.R.A.D page and then select SOI. And once you've done that, as soon as your RWR appears with the number 4 or LR, you're going to select it like you would as a normal radar and wait for the cue to shoot. The reason you're so high is because the higher and the faster you are, the further you can shoot these things. And with the MAD 4s, you're going to need every advantage, including the distance. Once you got the cue to shoot, dive straight to the ground and try and get cover as fast as you can. These missiles are fire forget, so you don't need to keep the lock. Don't try and notch these missiles. If you can hide behind terrain and break lock, it's a lot safer. Or if you have no terrain, I would turn and do a split S and leave the area of threat as fast as possible and go back when the sky is clear. Keep in mind your missiles can be shot down in the air by their defenses, so this could take a few goes, but once you're in, you're in. I use these missiles for short and medium range targets as well. You see here, I'm assaulting an airfield with them while doing my snaking maneuvers. With the AH-94 AGM-145 missiles, you can shoot SAM sites from a medium distance as well. Go to your TADs, aim with the camera, and once it's locked, fire as you would with your cannons. Take note that the nose of the AH-94 has to be facing the threat to fire, but once you shot, they fire and forget, so you can just get out there and get cover. Also take note that these also can be shot down, but don't be afraid to let loose since you can hold quite a few of them. I recommend getting the big SAM sights first, and then move to the cannons range for MAD-PAD threats after, while clearing through the streets is your best bet. Hydras are a great second weapon to clean up with. They're great for finishing off small naval boats and AAA fire, or doing a gun run. These are more close quarter and their accuracy drops the further you fire them, but they're great fun and you can carry a lot, so don't be shy. I said to bring laser guided bombs. I carry these just in case I want to keep out of range of small threats and airfields when I would just want to finish them off and move on. Simply use your targeting pod and select your bomb, and it will be locked automatically once it's in view. Wait for the shoot cue. Once it says to shoot, pull your trigger like you would with the normal guns and let it go. To help even more, I've added how to notch the A120s and missile evasion tactics video for you that can help you out even more, and I'll see you on the next one.